everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Naturally Famous brand. And so today we are so lucky to have the authors of the Piggy Bank Kids book, Learning How to Budget. I am so excited to have them here. This is a book that is the first of a series, and they actually have a products where you can actually start to learn how to budget on your own right now as a kid. Can you believe it? So I'm so happy that they decided to talk with us today because this book is super important. I'm pretty sure if I had this book when I was a kid, I'd probably be a billionaire by now. So without any further ado, here is Pierre and Amber with the Piggy Bank Kids.
Hello, my name is Amber Thomas, and I recently turned 31 this year. And I have a 4-year-old son named Jackson, who is my entire heart. And I am a teacher. I've been a teacher for about 7 years now. So that's a little bit about me.
My name is Pierre Griffin. I am the co-founder of the Piggy Bank Kids and co-author of the Piggy Bank Kids Learn How to Budget.
While recently going on my own financial literacy journey, I've been learning a lot. And as I'm learning, I'm thinking to myself, wow, I wish I would have known this information when I was a child, you know? So I started to think and I said, what do I want my son to know? How can I prepare my son for success? So what better way for a child to learn than to read a book? You know, he has bunches of books in his room. They read daily in school. So naturally, it was a decision to write a book in order to teach him about financial literacy at a very young age, something that I did not have growing up.
And I think at some point in our adult lives, we ask ourselves, we typically say, I wish I would have learned this when I was younger. And having a 4-year-old, you want to learn how to speak to them about different adult concepts, but bring them into their world so that they can relate to it. And so naturally, you find that there are 2 ways that you can go about doing that, either through song or storytelling. And our son, he likes to read. And so we just wanted to write a book because we want to do something that he enjoys so that it's more engaging. And we want to encourage that interaction between us and him, because typically when kids read, they ask questions. And so just promoting that type of a learning activity was something that we wanted to do. We felt like the book was the best way to do it. And then in doing that, we thought that it would be a value add for others to do it as well. And so the goal was really financial literacy accessible. So believe it or not, the process was relatively short. I think from concept to an actual physical copy of the book in our hand, it took about 2 to 3 months. So I don't think that there were any difficulties per se. However, seeing as though this is the first time that Amber and I are writing a book, everything that we did was fairly new. So everything that we did, from setting up our intellectual property, so our copyrights, our publishing, trademarks, all that was new for us. Same thing with working with contractors and getting an illustrator to put our vision onto paper. They were in a different time zone. Then you have to have book formatting and things like that. So everything that we had was fairly new. And any time that we ran upon or stumbled upon something that we didn't really know how to do, in the day and age of the internet, we just looked it up.
No, never thought that I would be an author. Never even wanted to write a book. However, I always felt like I had a story to tell, you know? And I just feel like I've been through a lot growing up. And I feel like my story can definitely encourage others to stay motivated, to keep going, to push through, to become successful, and to truly trust and believe that no matter where you come from, you can become successful. So never thought that I would be writing children's book, but once again, always doubling back to thinking about my son. And I think about, what type of life do I want to give him? How do I want to set him up for success? And like we were saying earlier, I felt like the best way to set him up for success was to make a product that he can relate to. Something that we would physically have to be able to teach him, for years and years and years until he becomes an adult himself and he's able to make, decisions on his own. But definitely, now that I am an author, a co-author of the Piggy Bank Kids Learn How to Budget, I love it, and this is definitely something that I see myself doing for years to come. Yeah, I'm definitely a teacher. Currently, I'm a teacher for about 7 years, and I've always wanted to be a teacher. Ever since I was very, very young, I would boss all of my little cousins around and force them to be my class while I was the teacher, and that was just something that I've always, had on my heart to do. So to be able to go to college, to get 2 degrees, to become a teacher I felt like, success for me. But now I do feel myself moving in another direction with my teaching. I definitely still love children, which is obviously why we're writing children's books. But I definitely see myself doing more with financial literacy, because as I start to learn about it, I really, really, truly enjoy it. Once you start to understand the concepts and how money works, it really all makes sense, So if I'm able to make it make sense for a child and to set a child up for success, not just my son, but other children as well, then I'm doing my job,
Yeah, so I think one of the first things they can do, obviously, is to purchase the Piggy Bank Kids Learn How to Budget. In the book, it talks about different ways. It talks about different ways that kids can work with money. So we go over briefly what they can do to set aside money for saving, spending, investing, and donating. The book can be purchased at Amazon.com or thepiggybankkids.com. And then the second thing is we have a Piggy Bank Kids starter bundle, which includes this book, a piggy bank, and 3 envelopes that coincide with the lessons that we teach in this book.
So one says spend, one says donate, and one says invest. And then obviously the piggy bank will be for them to save. So it's just like the book. So once, a parent purchases the book for their child can be one of the piggy bank kids, So we thought that was a nice touch to be able to provide that to the children as well. Absolutely. Okay, so this is what the page looks like, and this page is on investing. So I'll read it first and then I'll explain a little bit about what it means or what it says. Miss Thomas, that's who's speaking, the sponsor. You may not be familiar with the last budget category, but it is probably the most important. Let's talk about investing. When you invest, you are using your money to purchase what's called an asset. An asset is something of value that can start earning money as soon as you purchase it. It is something that you hold right now with the belief that you can sell it for more than you paid for it later. Please decide how much money you want to put in your invest envelope. So as we were on our own financial literacy journey, we've come across other adults who are trying to get into investing. They've never really invested before, but they're trying to just get their foot in the door. They're trying to test it out and see what it's all about. So as parents are learning how to invest themselves, what better way than to make it a family affair and include the entire family? So as you're learning how to invest, why not teach your children how to invest as well? You don't have to be an adult to invest, you know? You can be a child, you can invest with just a couple of dollars. You know, it's all about mindset. So we really felt like it was really important to make some of these tougher concepts accessible and easy for children to understand. That way, families can work together in their learning of financial literacy. So I think first, for us, we're hard workers, right? So we never ever looked at it as being too much work. Because we actually both enjoy working, especially when it's something that we really want to do. And this was something that we really wanted to do. We really wanted to produce a very good product. And we wanted to make something that, you know, kids could really benefit from. So no matter what challenge may have come our way, we were going to push through regardless. But it's always fun to, you know, blast a song that just keeps you hyped and keeps you wanting to push through. I remember some late nights and some early mornings trying to get this book done. So if you have to think of a song, what do you think our song could be or would be?
I think that's a really good question. I think in general, there's no one particular song. However, if I did have to pick something, the late, great Nipsey Hussle had a couple of songs that I did listen to regularly. One being Hustle and Motivate, and then the other being Make a Million While You're Young. I think the message in those songs, I think, are very encouraging to those that are on a journey to do better for themselves. Absolutely. I think that just in general, it's very important for you to start investing as an early age. Your most important asset is your time, right? You have a finite amount of time on this earth, but there's something that's called the time value of money. So the earlier you start to investing, smaller amounts of money, they tend to pile up, or they tend to increase kind of like a snowball. That concept is compound interest. It's also called the time value of money. $1 today can earn interest and can start to accumulate more and more and more as you get older. So I think one of the most important things that you can do is ask your parents to set you up with a custodial account. If you're under the age of 18, you can buy ownership in some companies while you're young, and even if it's a small amount, I think most companies now, they have what's called fractional shares. And so the smallest amount that you can invest is $5. It may not get you one full share of ownership in a company. However, it will allow you to start owning something. Ownership in itself, I think, is a very important thing because it helps build confidence. A lot of us don't really own anything, or a lot of us haven't owned anything. But if you know that you're wearing Nikes, for example, or you have an Apple phone, or you have a computer and you use Microsoft on your computer, those are all companies that you yourself can physically own, and they pay you. And as they succeed, you succeed, and you have and your financial stability increases the more that you own, right? So you tie your success to some of these companies. So start talking to your parents about investing. Start reading up about investing on your own. Of course, buy the Piggy Bank Kids Learn How to Budget. And I think that's it. Once you start learning about the concepts, you're taking the steps in the right direction, and you'll have a continuous improvement process as you go along your journey.
And I would just add to that, to all my children out there, no matter what it is that you want to do in life, you may slow down, but never stop, never quit, never give up. Keep going, keep fighting, and you will become successful if you put your mind to it. So, thank you for this opportunity. The Piggy Bank Kids Learn How to Budget is a great tool for parents to use to help teach their children about money. And we look forward to the future when we have the rest of our series of books as well. So, thank you.
Shop, everything your business.